To Aaron.
It's Trial Tuesday once again, and today we're discussing what happens if you're a passenger injured in a car accident. Attorney David Ayler is here to walk us through some scenarios. Good morning, David.
Good morning.
So this scenario, someone else is driving, a friend, a family member, and are we talking about if they're at fault, if they're the one that causes the accident, or either way?
Well, really either way, but usually the times that you see some of the most uncomfortable situations is exactly that, when either, your friend, your family member is driving the vehicle, they get in an accident and they're found at fault. The passengers are injured in some way or another, and then they don't really know what to do because, again, it's someone that they're close to that has actually caused the accident. But on the other hand, you still have the injuries that need medical treatment, and maybe you're out of work, and a lot of people just don't really know where to go because they don't want to make for a weird cookout that Saturday or a holiday that's coming up soon thereafter.
Uncomfortable Thanksgiving.
Exactly.
So is this something you see frequently, and do people wait too long to come to you because it is a friend?
That's exactly what happens is, people are sort of uncomfortable at the beginning. They don't know what to do. So sometimes they'll literally just not go to the doctor at all. Say, oh, well, I didn't know because I didn't want to, put it on my own insurance, but I didn't want to, have to sue my friend or family member either. And it's really not what the situation is because that driver, whoever it is, they're going to have insurance. And a lot of people get confused when they see different things on television and things like that related to car accidents, things, and they think you're always suing someone. You're in a courtroom and that sort of thing. But most accidents work out a lot earlier than that with the assistance of attorneys and, basically working with the adjusters on your behalf to try to settle the case. And so ultimately, I would say a majority of the time in that situation where your friend or family member is the driver, your lawyer is working it out with their insurance company. Whether or not their rates go up, those are things that are going to be unrelated to you. Could be related to the other drivers, what their driving record is, that sort of thing. But it doesn't mean that you're going to be sitting there facing off against your cousin in court, 6 or 8 months later, just to get the money for your knee.
Yeah. So should this happen, you're in an accident, your best friend's driving, and it hurts. You don't want to wait too long, for injuries to further themselves. What's the first step you should take?
Well, you always want to go, regardless of whoever's found at fault, if there's, some contention there, maybe the other person was at fault, you want to seek that medical treatment. Worst case scenario, if it has to go against your own insurance, a lot of times initially that's what will happen, and then later that'll be recovered from the other company or the other person. But beyond that, you want to do that as quick as possible, and then of course document it just like you would a normal accident. At the point that you're starting to get that recovery, though, in my opinion, it's important to go talk to an attorney, figure out where you need to go. But again, it shouldn't be a scenario where you're making for an awkward position with your friend or family member who was driving because they were found at fault. And beyond that, you don't want to slight yourself physically or financially simply because of the person driving was somebody you knew.
Where do we draw the line as far as seeking treatment? Let's say you're in a parking lot, you get an fender bender, but the seatbelt, you get that jarring, it hurts. Should you always seek treatment or always be checked out immediately after?
I think it's always good to at least go ahead and get checked out. Exactly. It may be that you don't need any further therapy, but what ends up happening a lot of times is people don't. And then that delay in time period later, if they try to go back and, get that covered from the accident, it's easy for the insurance company to look at it and say, hey, that was 9 days ago. That was 22 days ago. How do we know that you didn't go skiing last weekend or you didn't, fall down or something else? So the more time that passes, the harder it is sometimes to put it back to the original accident that probably did cause the injury.
All right, David Ayler, maintaining friendships today.
Absolutely, trying to, and
also,
family members.
You're a popular guy because you had a big award by the city paper, right? Voted. Go ahead.
We did get Best Law Firm, and I want to thank all the voters out there that are viewers of this show and watch us each week, and appreciate you going out there and putting a vote for our firm. It's not just me, I'm just a name. We've got a great staff, and hopefully we can continue working with a lot of people down here in the Low Country.
Right. Attorney David Ayler.
Thank you all again.
A pleasure to sit here with you and your entire law firm again. Congratulations. And we will have much more on Low Country Live right after this.
Trial Tuesday, brought to you by Attorney David Ayler.